Hey, welcome to Pod of Mercy. I am your host, Longhair Linda, and today we're doing something a little different. So, to celebrate the first 10 episodes of the podcast being out in the world, I've pulled together a compilation of some of my favourite outtakes. Now, these are clips that were either a bit of a tangent that would have made their original episode just a bit too long, or they were a little too wild to keep in. So, enjoy!
It does not matter what you look like, what you do, what you have. If you are just female.
Yeah, that's it.
Or present as female.
Yeah.
Right?
You tick the boxes.
That's it.
It's the one box.
That's it. Yeah. That's all you need. If you wake up in the morning and you're like, listen, I would like to have sex today. Guess what? By the end of the day, it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. So, as a man, I know plenty of men. If you wake up in the morning and say, it might not happen for you. It depends on a lot of things. It depends on what you look like, how much you earn, what you
variables.
do. There's variables.
There's variables.
For women, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, because, as individuals, as human beings, we are on this planet in this small blip of time, however long we're here, 80 years, 50 years, 20 years, or however. All we have is this little insignificant amount of time to spend on this insignificant Earth in this insignificant universe.
Right.
Way to get existential, Roxanne.
So quickly. I feel like I'm worth nothing now.
And all we've got is time, and we need to spend that time as amazingly as we possibly can, because that's all we've got. Because in reality, at the end of the day, all we've got is ourselves and the time that we spend. Yeah,
so true. Next time I'm procrastinating, I'm calling you, because I love to procrastinate. I love to waste
don't get
time.
me wrong.
It's
I procrastinate as well. I hate procrastination.
So do I, but I keep doing it.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
Because it's so easy.
Oh,
it's so easy.
Yeah.
I blame social media again. There you go. Social media is the epitome of all our issues.
Should we just get rid of it?
I'm thinking about it. I'm actually going on I'm going to plug myself for a bit.
Do it.
I'm trying to get this documentary underway to try and get a social media influencer, quotation marks because you can't see me, to go on a 30-day social media and technology detox to see how they face the real world.
Have you got someone to agree yet?
We are trying to reach someone at the moment in California.
Oh.
And and it's a complete and utter technology detox before 1999. So no mobile phone.
Holy shit. I couldn't do it.
No modern technology.
Oh my god. You have to go back to like a pager.
Yeah.
And landlines. Who even has landlines anymore? You'd have to go to like... I had to go to like a phone box and stuff.
So, because I really think that we all need to take a look in the mirror and see the actual... Because we're going to be doing some brain scans and actually get professionals on board to see how this is actually physically and psychologically, mentally affecting us as human beings. Because I've been doing so much research on this at the moment. Because the average person spends 24 hours a week looking at their phone.
Yeah, but
that's an entire day.
Yeah.
An entire 24 hours looking at your phone, and at least 4 hours a day on social media.
I've got to be honest with you, it's probably more for me. Because I know what my habits are like, and I catch myself doing it.
But that's the thing, like, obviously it's an average.
Yeah.
I believe it's more.
Yeah.
And, I think it's actually really affecting us as a society. I think anyway.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Listen, that sounds amazing. Please let me know once it's made, because I'm watching the hell out of that.
All right, yeah. It should
but
be
yeah, if you can get an influencer though to actually to really
I'll tell you
do it.
Yeah.
Because I think if you can prove that it can be done, and
it's also the whole influencer angle as well is somebody who lives and breathes on social media.
Well, you also have to think that's their revenue stream. So unless they've got income coming from somewhere else, that's a real, like,
well, obviously
test.
That's what we'd need to negotiate with
Yeah.
them. But and also the scarier part is that like so many people are now worried because social media fame can be gone in an instant.
In like an hour.
In an hour, in a day,
tweet
you
can
can
be
be
found. It's
disappear.
done.
Like you can be cancel culture. Exactly. You
Or
can
there could be a glitch and you could lose your account, lose all your followers, have to start
everything.
again. You never know.
Everything. So it's also like a risk for them. Like, what would the world do without them for a month?
A month is listen. A month.
30
is,
days.
Oof.
Yeah. No, and
Oh, I'll watch the shit out of that. Let me know when it's ready.
no, I'm actually really excited about it. So
Sick.
I think it'd be really interesting. So yeah.
All right. Well, it's not really a good segue, but
hit me.
gonna move on to the final segment of the episode.
I think 60 seconds
Who's
might
Roxanne?
be Roxanne Pedder.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I like the name.
she's got a great name.
What's she like?
She's nice.
She's not Asian, nigga. Black Asian.
You can cut that out, can't you? You can cut that out. You can cut that bit out.
So good.
Flawless is here with us.
Flawless is here with us and giving us some commentary in the background.
Can we just shout out where we're at as well? We are literally.
I was going to do that later.
That's what it is.
Right. Okay. I've pressed record.
We're just testing it. It's just outtakes, yeah? Product list.
Yeah,
POM
so
outtakes on that.
POM outtakes.
Outtakes, POM.
Yeah.
I'm just here chowing down on some, what are these?
Fizzy
Classics.
fish.
Soft jellies, fizzy fish. These are
You know
nice
why I
ones.
got them? They're good, right?
Yeah,
They're
nice.
vegan.
Is it?
Yeah, accidentally vegan, but they're vegan all the same.
You ain't vegan, or are you?
Yeah.
Are you vegan, yeah?
Yeah.
I had no idea that you was vegan.
You know what it is?
Go on, why did you turn vegan?
Why did I turn vegan?
Yeah.
Oh, good question. I went vegan because I was thinking about it a long time ago, but I still like steak and cheese too much.
Okay.
And then I was like, that's just, in an ideal world, I'd be vegan, but that's just ain't gonna be for me. And then one day, about 4 and a bit years ago, I was like, let me try and be vegan like twice a week.
Yeah.
If I try it twice a week and I'm able to do it for long enough, then I'll add a day until
good.
I'm vegan.
That's smart.
The first week, just before the first week, so I'm researching what I can and can't have on my vegan days. I'm not gonna lie to you, the stuff that I watched and read and paid attention to just put me off. That first week, I did my first vegan day and I've never ate meat and dairy and anything again since.
Why? What happened? What's made you stop eating meat and dairy and things of that nature?
Because I'm not even like a huge animal lover like that,
Yeah.
right? But for me, the
Yeah,
thing
animals,
that made...
like, they made to be eaten. You know why? Because they're delicious. Especially
Here's the
chickens,
thing.
they're barely who can't
Here's the
fly.
thing, though.
Go on.
Back in the day, and still in a lot of communities that aren't in the Western world, back in the day, people used to eat meat very non-frequently. So they would have it occasionally. One, because it's expensive. Two, because it's harder to get, right? But the way meat is manufactured now with the factory farms, listen, the amount of antibiotics
Yeah,
and
pure
hormones
chemicals.
and shit that's going in your system because of what's been in their system to make them grow quicker and keep up with the demand of how much meat everyone's eating.
Yeah.
I don't want that shit in my body.
Fair enough.
I just don't. And I kept looking at it and kept looking at the conditions, and I kept thinking, all right, so I would not eat a dog, but I'm cool eating pork, and pigs are smarter than dogs. I don't understand. That doesn't, you know, when stuff just stops making
Yeah, that's
logical
true.
sense to me.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, so there's rules and regulations about how often you can move pigs from one farm to another or from a farm to an abattoir. There's rules in this country
is it? Oh.
because they get distressed.
What, pigs get distressed?
Yeah, they're that smart. They're like 5-year-olds. They understand what's happening.
Oh, is it? Oh, I didn't know this.
So there's rules. There's actually laws in place about how often you can move them. You have to give them like a 2-3 day break, I believe.
Check pigs out here.
Because they understand what's happening. They get distressed. They start and they create a law about it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, wait, they did all of that because a pig understands what's going on. And meantime, I'm just going to eat bacon and be cool.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not, something doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah, fair enough.
And so that's why I became vegan. And the reason you probably didn't know I was vegan is because I don't necessarily go out.
Yeah, I like the fact
Tell
that you're
people
vegan, but
about
you're just, you know what I mean? You don't have to promote it.
Because I personally don't think being vegan is for everyone. The only thing I would encourage people is just to eat less meat than they have now, slightly less meat than they have now, only because it's so bad for the environment. Like the way they're breeding up cattle and everything, what's having to happen to keep up with the demand of meat. Everyone's eating meat just a bit too often, and it's having an adverse effect. That's the only thing I ever say. In terms of eating meat, though, I don't care if other people do it. People can eat meat around me, like I'll go to places where I don't care about all that. I don't like when people try and impose themselves on other people.
I hate that shit. Don't impose me on you, innit? Whether it be with vegan or food or religion.
Do you know what's funny? I found that as soon as I went vegan, because in my head I always thought it was vegans that were preachy. It's actually the other way around. You get more people going, "You're vegan. Why are you vegan? But do you have milk? But do you have fish? Why don't you have it?"
Yeah, because you can't eat milk or fish, can you?
No.
As vegan.
The only thing I miss is tuna, if I'm honest. Tuna and Snickers.
You can't eat Snickers. Why don't you eat Snickers?
There's milk in it.
Oh, shit.
Let me tell you, there's milk in everything. They find a way to sneak milk in everything. It drives me mad.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? You better than me, because I treat my body. I'm just like, whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
I don't know what happened to me, because I went through years of just like, I don't give a shit. Like, I'll make it. I ain't dead yet. I'm cool.
Exactly. I went through years of that, and that became my lifestyle. So
yeah.
It is.
But then something happened to me. I don't know what it was, but something happened to me. And
you probably just grew up. Yeah, I mean, you have a very adult view on it, whereas I'm like, if it tastes good, put that shit in the oven.
Here's the thing, though. I only have an adult view about some things. There's times when I catch myself, I'm like, I'm childish as shit. Like, what am I doing? And then there's other times when I'm like, that was a really grown up decision to make. That was very smart. I don't know. I think it's a learning curve. But for me, I just feel like I want to put that shit. Just the same reason I quit smoking a couple of years ago. I was like, all right, this was fun, but why do I keep doing this? This is dumb. Like, I'm clearly putting myself at risk. At some point, I'm not going to be able to breathe properly, and it's going to be my own fault.
I've never smoked a cigarette in my life.
Don't even start. It's pointless. That shit is so dumb. That is the dumbest shit I think I've ever done. I've done a lot of dumb shit, let me tell you. I have done a lot of dumb shit, and that is definitely the dumbest shit I've ever done. Alright, let's get going, because
Outtakes POM, you get me? That's what this is, POM Outtakes. We don't know when this will come out, but this is how this works, isn't it? Like,
it'll be out at some point, maybe. I might just live on my computer for a while. Yeah, who knows?
He'll make his way onto the POM Pod of Mercy Patreon or something.
Hey, at some point. I don't know if I'll start a Patreon, I might get my feelings hurt if no one wants to support.
Yeah. Give it a while, innit? I'd say give it a year and then keep all the outtakes stuff. Keep all the outtakes.
Alright, let's get into the next episode. Okay.
Are we starting from here? Yeah.
Yeah. Start from here.
Alright, you just gonna cut it, yeah.
Alright, I'll cut it. Fuck it.
Alright, cool.
I'll find it. It's alright. I hope.
You sure you don't want to stop it?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Right,
I might regret this decision when I'm actually editing it. But you know what it is? Because I'm gonna be off for like 2 weeks from work. And I'm gonna be going crazy. I need stuff to do. So
I'll send you some Sarcasm City Patreon shit. I'll send you the links.
Yeah. Oh no! I'm actually gonna join.
But just join out there. But I'll send you the links just so you have something to watch in the time being. I will send you the links.
Appreciate it. Right, you ready?
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to Pod of Mercy. I am your host, Long Hair Linda, and our returning guest co-host is
myself.
Do you ever remember when it was just porn on like late night TV?
Yes, Sex Sector I used to watch. It's like Channel 5 or something.
Yeah. So there you go, innit? Like, you lot don't really care, innit?
What was it? Eurotrash. Do you remember Eurotrash?
I'm gone anyway. You lot finish up, yeah? Why, G? Give me a hug. Yeah. I'm going out, innit?
How did you get us freaking...
Shorty gave me one when I went, innit? Yeah, I'm going with this train, innit? Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's fine. We're nearly done anyway.
Yeah, he's nearly done. Alright, see you soon.
Alright,
yo, Pam, I'll catch up with you tomorrow, yeah?
Alright, bless. Yeah, I don't trust them. Like, I don't let my son.
From my hit, because I'm a summer baby, so I'm like the youngest in the class.
Same.
There we go. So when I hit 12, I was in the middle of the summer holidays. I was about to go into the second year, and right there, I discovered crime. I say I discovered crime. I used to go sponsor him when I was in primary school. Like it didn't seem like crime. Look, now I look back on it, it's kind of fucked up.
Why did we live the same life? Oh my god, that really just knocked me for 6. That one, jeez.
We lived like I grew up in Borough, so we lived near the city. So you cross over London Bridge with a sponsor sheet and a cherubic smile. Yeah, and you're like, I'm doing a sponsor swim.
Oh my god.
You make enough money for a bag of weed, a panda pop, and a bag of chips. You're good to go. Like, so yeah, I got to like.
Oh, I wasted that money on cigarettes. Damn it! I wish I never started smoking.
We was buying weed and shit, like £5 drawers. Them days, £5 drawers.
Is that even a thing now?
I don't imagine it's a thing now. I don't imagine.
And if it is, it's probably garbage. Probably oregano at this point.
But yeah, so like I hit 12, and my school life. Human rights.
Let's take that aside because, they could argue we've got, the UN, we've got NATO because they do everything, right? No, let's move on from that. Let's just little laws, right? That say, hey, men and women should be paid the same. Hey, you can't make somebody work more than it was 40. You can't make anyone work more than 40 hours a week. You can't make them. If they choose to, fine, but you can't make them as part of their role. You know where that came from? The EU. I studied European Union law, right? I studied European legal studies because I wanted to have a year abroad, and I didn't realize how amazing that information was, right? Because I was going into it like, I'm going to get a year to go and fuck around abroad. And I certainly did do that.
Of course. Don't get me wrong. But you learn
But it helped me because I was forced to do a European law module in my second year. And learning that, and then watching the Brexit campaigning and watching Remain not bring up any facts. Anything.
Do you know what? That's the one thing about this.
Because
the
Leave did their job.
Is so weak.
Leave did their job.
Oh, they
Leave
did.
lied to everybody. That's what they came to do.
Yeah, of course.
They told us the next day. Nigel Farage sat there the next day and told us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Farage is out of a job if we leave the EU. His whole shtick is, I'm anti-European, let's get us out. But as soon as we're out, he's fucked. He doesn't have a job anymore.
He doesn't need one though.
No, at this particular point, Jesus Christ,
he's got
the money
deals
that
banking
man.
on this.
He's got a fucking show on LBC.
Let me tell you something.
But yeah, we've gone quite off. Let me talking about politics because my head's gonna go through
honestly,
the roof.
I'm just like, I'm gonna burst out crying at any moment because I haven't grieved it yet. It's too soon, so I don't know.
Do you know what? I left my phone at home today, so I avoided. Last night I saw the exit polls at about 10:30. I put my phone off. I turned the telly off. I rehearsed my rounds. I went to bed. I woke up. I left my phone at home and I didn't see anything until I got home and looked on Twitter and I saw how, because I'm in a left-wing bubble in my timeline.
Yeah, my timeline was Labour. My timeline looked good and my timeline looked, my little echo chamber
but do you know
was the most Labour thing I've ever seen in my life.
The maddest thing is that if you look at it, ethnic minorities as a whole make up, it was 14%. I think I might have saw numbers as high as 21, right? But that's ethnic minorities, including European, like from Poles, Spanish, Red. But ethnic minorities, they still a 80% swing in favor of naturalized birth, like English people.
Yeah.
And they came out in force, and they said, "Fuck all you lot, like fuck." All of you.
Oh yeah.
All your letterbox bitches. All your watermelon smile motherfuckers.
Do you know what they said? In addition to that, they said, "I don't care if I starve."
Do you know what?
As long as it hurts you.
I said this to my daughter because she said, "How come he won?" And I said, "Because some people are more intent on hurting you than helping themselves."
You know how come he won? I can't remember who said it, and I wish I did. I'll hopefully put it in the description if I remember.
It's only me that's drunk, you know.
I think I'm drunk on like just disappointments. That's probably what it is.
Shit ain't real.
But yeah. So I think it might have been Martin Luther King Jr. But I'm not sure. Where he said, "No, it's not."
It's Malcolm X. The media will have
it's
you.
It's not Malcolm X either. It's before their time. So that's going to annoy me.
Right. So what's the quote?
If you can convince the poorest white man that he's still better than the Negro.
Lyndon B. Johnson. Is it Lyndon? It's Lyndon B. Johnson.
Lyndon B. Johnson.
Yeah.
Yes, because it was a president. Yes. So if you can convince the poorest white man that he's still better than the Negro, you're good. Basically, right? That's exactly what these people do.
I'm gonna send you a thing.
That's exactly what these people
on
do.
WhatsApp. The invention of whiteness.
And you know what they do as well? They tell you, no. The reason you're broke isn't because I'm taking all of your money and making you work more. No. The reason you're broke is because this black or brown person is taking your job. It's taking your space on an NHS that we are ripping up. Let me tell you, by 2020, if we still even have like free ambulances, I'll be surprised. By the end of 2020, I'll be surprised. We're looking to get
4 fucking more years at Trump.
Do you know I met? Listen.
Should we go back to school?
Let's go back to school. Let's go back to primary school, because that was the best
Yeah,
one.
that was the
That was the
shit.
safe space for
God
me.
damn, learning
Wow.
to read and write was the greatest thing in the world, man.
Sitting there reading books, learning about the world,
Yeah,
thinking that
lovely.
people were good. Oh, what a nice
Imagine
time.
that. Do you remember when you used to think everyone was good?
I thought that everyone to their core was good. Everyone.
Was good, and like...
And that people, they just made a series of mistakes. And now...
Yeah, and you get to see... Do you know the worst thing is the fact is systemic? Because, like I said, working in school, the education system we have is not fit for purpose currently. Like, we teach just enough for you to be smart enough
to take a test.
Not to rebel. Yeah, you can take a test and you can get a job, and then that job will take up so much of your time, you don't have the time to think in order to worry about what else is happening.
Anything.
Like, we still teach kids handwriting, how to do joined up handwriting. And now, I still write raps in a book, right? I write my rhymes on paper.
Really? There's handwriting lessons?
Yes.
In
primary
2019?
school, in 2019, it's handwriting lessons. Now, and this is my issue, is because you are dealing with a generation who will rarely pick up a pen.
By the time these kids are out of school, they won't be
at the
writing.
moment. You see, I've got two, 10 and 7. If they don't write in school, they don't write.
They don't write.
Everything's on an iPad, a phone.
Right.
It's all tap, 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 tap. You tap. We still teach this thing, and we take time out to teach it, which means that 20 or 30 minutes where you've got kids doing this thing joining up their writing. Yeah. In this, because we adhere to this tradition that we're stuck in. And like, did you ever see that tweet that tradition is peer pressure from dead people?
No, but that's amazing.
Listen,
that's a great way to put it.
I read that shit and it fucked me up. Tradition is peer pressure from dead people. We are literally, because it... Alright, sound check, 1 2 1 2. How you doing?
Hopefully. Well, we're not peaking. Oh no, we peaked. Hang on. This mic is...
It really is
so
super.
Look at how low the volume is already.
Yeah, I can hear. And I ain't even started shouting yet. Like, I'm gonna get loud.
It'll be fine.
It'll be cushy. There you go. Look at that.
Hang on.
Look at that.
That's fine. I'm too close. I need to move.
There we go. Oh, you're gonna get me drunk and come close to me. God damn. Watch yourself, you know. Sheesh. Yeah, it's good.
See what it sounds like here. Oh, okay. Fuck. Hang on. That's better.
Yeah, there
over
we go.
here.
There
Do
we
you know
go.
what? I'll do some noise reduction. It'll be fine.
Yeah, no
It'll be
problem.
alright. Sorry, continue. I interrupted
That's
you.
alright. No,
About hearing. We were talking about
multis, hearing
hearing it before you even know what it is.
But yeah, so it wasn't called a multi. It was called rapping. Until battle rap, it wasn't called a multi, it's called rapping. You match the syllables because it sounds good.
It sounds good. It gives you a feeling when you hear it.
If you listen to only the last, like you ever listen to old fucking 80s dancehall, and they might say shun, that the word will be shun, so like education. But they make education rhyme with determination. Nothing in that word rhymes except for shun.
Yeah.
It's the last syllable.
Yeah.
But in rap, you hear Cool G was doing it from early. Like, he was mad technical with it. Pun is a master, right? But yeah, it's just, and it makes everything sound nicer.
It does.
It makes everything. Even when I write my rhymes, I look at it afterwards when I'm going through it and I'm editing. I say, oh, can I tweak that to make the multi longer? Because it's gonna sound nicer when I say it. It's that simple. But yeah, like you said, a lot of people don't hear it. If they don't hear it, they don't get it.
No.
You've seen Shuffle T's challenge. That he puts every day.
I've stopped looking at the replies. It stresses me out.
It makes me grind my teeth.
It stresses me out because it's always the one that has like the most as well. Like they'll list a whole bunch, and I'm just like, none of that worked. It's so stressful. I just look at what Shuffle T puts, enjoy that, and move on.
Yeah, and keep it moving.
I don't look at the replies because it was stressing me out. I was like, how can you not? I'm no rapper by any stretch of the imagination, but you can see a word and be like, that doesn't.
You could hear
doesn't
it.
match the other
when
one.
you say it, you could hear it. Like it like bottle and table.
And you're looking at it and you're
sound.
Like, in any accent, this doesn't work.
Yeah, it don't work. It don't work. Yeah, it's not like a north-south divide of ass and arse or grass and grass and pass and pass. No, it's not the same thing. Bath and bath.
There's so many of them. Or they'll just, it'll be, obviously it's a multi-syllabic challenge and it will be the last syllable.
Yeah.
You're just like, okay.
Like, what have you done here? What have you done?
Yeah, I had to stop looking at the replies.
That's one of those things though, as far as like fans go. it's one of them things that make me say, if you don't know how to multi, if you don't know how to make that rhyme work, how do you know what's good? And then why do you like the guy? You haven't even worked out why you like the rapper that you like if you don't know how to make a multi-syllabic rhyme.
Yeah.
Like, you just haven't got it.
Or even, not even necessarily make one, but identify one when you hear it. Do you know what I mean? Because you might, like with me, I wouldn't even attempt to try and put words together in the same way as you would, or another rapper of that kind of caliber. I wouldn't even try, because it's just, I know it would sound wrong, but I can hear it and identify it and know, that rhymes with that. That works
because it
with
makes sense.
Yeah, and you can. It's a feeling and it's a sound. It's not a.
It makes sense, and the thing is, when you do it, because of, like, you've got 4 beats to a bar, and there's certain places the words go, and there's certain places the breaths go. So when if you hit those particular beats in the bar, on the next bar, if you hit them in exactly the same place with exactly the same sound, it marries together perfectly. Like Soul does it, where he just goes on a constant stream of it. I think he's got like it'll be a 3-syllable multi, and he'll da 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 da, and he just stream. And the thing is, and the way the crowd reacts to it, you know they're hearing something like, oh wow. But now it made me realize they're hearing it, they're amazed, because they don't know how to make that sound the same. Like, no idea.
If you try and break it down technically, you're like, that's got to be the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
To continue for that long, and then you just I think that's why crowds lose their minds whenever Soul's performing, because it honestly doesn't even matter what he's saying. It helps that what he's saying
it helps.
What
he's saying is incredible,
but it really doesn't even matter what he's saying. It doesn't matter if there's no message, because the sound alone, especially live, if you're in the building,
and a cappella, it carries.
Amazing,
because your voice is the instrument in an a cappella thing. So you have to flow in a way that's engaging. You have to bring them into it. It's the difference between, like, if you read it off a paper, if you know the rhyme. Like, if you set the same rhyme for 10 years, like my webham. You can give me any beat in the world, slow, fast, whatever. I can make that work, because it's so comfortable. I know where it can stretch. I know how to chop it up. I know so if you know it, that's what comes across way better performing live. Like that thing that Nestle does when he chalks. Have you seen him chalk off his rhymes?
Yeah.
Like, I aim for that level of dedication and professionalism. Like, I'm not even saying I aim it. I'm envious of it, and I just don't do it. But that's why he sounds so polished when he raps. That's why he can draw the crowd in that way. Because if you know it, it's just so fluent, and you know how to mess with the flow. You know how to drag certain words out, or where the pause goes, and all these little bits, the intricacies. Because you are making music, like you are making. You're engaging everybody in the room, so it's a really important thing. It's just like
everybody
talking.
in the room when they're forced to be silent.
Yeah.
So there's literally not just it's a cappella, but there's no other sound but you in that moment.
That's why I love it.
It's honestly amazing. Like,
my ego.
Your ego
craves,
gets fed. Yeah.
My ego is look, all these people are here and they shine the fuck up to hear me talk. I love it. I love it. Did we even do an intro, or did we just get straight into it?
This wasn't the episode. This will just be a side.
Okay.
Thing.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Cool.
It actually wasn't going to be about battle rap, interestingly enough.
Is it? Okay, good. Even better.
So hang on, right. I will stop this one here. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for listening up to now. I really appreciate you. I actually can't believe that Pod of Mercy has existed for 22 weeks now. Madness. Follow at Pod of Mercy on Twitter and Instagram for updates on the latest episodes and guest co-hosts, as well as the odd clip. There's a new episode out every other Wednesday. Subscribe to Pod of Mercy and Talk About It Network on your favourite platform to get notified the moment there's an upload. And I will catch up with you on the next one. Bye!